Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Kid Crayon, and that's right, I've gone full YouTube mode and I've got the gaming chair. You're not a YouTuber until you have a gaming chair, so this is the latest update. Gaming chair, baby! For sure I'm going to be doing a gaming chair customization video in the near future because I want one that's going to rival PewDiePie's. But today we're going to be making another lo-fi / chill hop album cover. I previously made a video like this, a step-by-step how to create an album cover design. It's done the best out of all of the videos I've made, gets the most views every day. And yeah, since I've just got another commission, this one from Quiet Prophecy, to create an album cover for their channel, I thought this is the perfect time to do a more updated version, go a little bit deeper on how to create a good album cover, and I've got a better camera, I've got a little bit better at doing the editing, so hopefully if you're looking for a kind of a step-by-step how to create your own album cover, you're in the right place. Let's do it. So the first thing that you're going to want to do if you've been given a commission is you want to look at the brief that you've been given. If you're just doing an album cover for yourself, obviously you know your own brief. But I jot down all of the elements that you want included into the album cover, and then you can kind of tick them off as you add them into the design. It's very important that you kind of deliver what's been asked of you. This is just from past experience. It's very easy to miss something off or forget it if you haven't got it written down next to drawings. So that's the first thing that I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very loosely just come up with some thumbnail sketches. At this point, really don't worry too much about how neat everything is, proportions, getting all the angles right. This is just you want to unload all of your ideas onto the paper. So the concept they give me is they want like a dude by a swimming pool. They want to have lots of like musical elements like a keyboard, computer, different vinyls like scattered around him. So I'm going to come up with a couple of different variations of that, and I'm going to send that over to Quiet Prophecy.
Many tic-tacs later.
So they've just got back to me with some feedback, and they weren't really vibing on the first kind of image that I sent, but they did kind of like the second one. So I'm going to go more down that route. I'm going to now go on to the kind of refining stage, getting the angles right, and then just kind of perfecting that image. I would highly recommend, whether you're doing this on computer or by hand, that you get graph paper. Now I said this in the previous video, it's very helpful. Even if you had this in the computer, if you have that kind of grid system, you can make sure that everything's kind of angled perfectly. In the kind of lo-fi album art scenes, you normally have lots of details. Again, you may be familiar with the lo-fi raccoon, the chill hop girl at the computer. There's stuff scattered everywhere, so yeah, if you can kind of get the foundations and the angles correct at this point, this graph paper will make it super easy. So now we're just going to be having a bit of fun with this, getting these angles right, adding all the stuff in, and then we'll move on to putting this into the computer. So now we're finished with kind of design that I'm happy with. What we're going to do is we're going to draw this onto a heavier weighted paper. So this is a 220 gram paper, works a lot better with pen, and yeah, it just leaves a much cleaner illustration for you to scan in. Not an issue if you guys are drawing this straight into the computer, which is another option. I just prefer to kind of do the traditional approach, but if you want to scan in your illustration and then draw it in Illustrator or draw it into Photoshop or Procreate, whatever you guys use these days, yeah, that's also, you know those steps, you can do that yourself.
12 o'clock midnight.
Alright gangsters, I'm just using a light box here to trace the image and then just pen this out. I love traditional drawing, and I know you can achieve a similar look by doing it in Photoshop, but I always tend to try and lean towards pen and paper as much as I can. I will of course edit this a little bit in the computer, but yeah, pen and ink is the one. For me anyway. Just to give you guys an idea of how rough I actually start these, I thought I'd just quickly go through all of the sketches and just show you that yeah, you don't ever draw stuff right first time. There is a process, and that's why I say you should draw again and again and again and refine the design. If you're trying to get it right first time off the bat, that's a very difficult challenge, and I would strongly recommend against it. So yeah, we started off with this, a very basic thumbnail. Then we kind of developed that thumbnail into something a little bit better. Still very rough, as you can see I didn't even draw the hands properly. Not really worked out the proportions, but getting a little bit better. Then we're kind of refining it. And then this is kind of it in pen. This is, again, it's not neat, but all the elements that I want are there. They're all ticked off, and I'm happy with the kind of components. I sent this in, but they weren't too happy with it, as along with this design that they preferred. So then I went on to getting all of the angles correct, using the graph paper to kind of, yeah, you know, as you can see, everything's a little bit neater. The proportions are better, and the graph paper really helped with that. I didn't like the character, so I was just trying to come up with a better character design, and this was me doing his proportions a bit better, working out the sandals, and then I put that into one complete illustration that I was pleased with. Then the last step was obviously drawing that in pen, and then this is what we're going to scan into the computer. Now you have two choices with this. You don't actually have to take it into the computer. You can go down the kind of marker route for colouring, but I prefer to do it in the computer. And also I have to submit this as a file that would have different layers. They can drop their logo and stuff into it, so it makes more sense to kind of do a digital version of it. This is also going to be used as their header for their channel. So yeah, very, very important that it's a digital image. But you guys might want to just do this at home with pens, colouring pencils, and then just have like a nice kind of chillhop album image, which you can now either scan in as your album cover, or you can just have as a standalone piece of artwork. But for this, for the purposes of this video, we're going to be doing the digital version. So now it's all scanned in, the next thing that we're going to be doing is just working out a rough colour palette. Now, I don't really know what colours I'm going to use. The best thing to do is to just, again, like we did at the beginning of the sketches, just have fun with it, see what works and what doesn't work, and then just kind of come up with a very quick kind of colour scheme. Now, a very important tip that I would say is do not use lots of colours. It's very tempting to use every shade of every colour because, you know, it's at your disposal. You can use whatever colours you want. But generally, if you're going to use a red or a blue or a green, try and use that throughout. It looks a lot better in the final results. And it also does give it more of a lo-fi aesthetic, which is what we're after with this kind of lo-fi album cover. If you're vibing these tunes, by the way, a lot of them are from Dialekt. I'll link his channel below. Quiet Prophecy channel hasn't launched yet, but as soon as it does, I will also link it in the description below. I've been fortunate enough to preview some of these tunes, and yeah, it's like my favourite genre to listen to when I'm drawing. And yeah, it's a shame that I can't put this in the video, but yeah, they should be launching very soon. So yeah, come back later, take a note, Quiet Prophecy. In terms of the artwork, it's pretty straightforward. I'm just slowly colouring everything based off the rough colour palette that I did initially. I'm just trying to capture that kind of lo-fi aesthetic as well as some Jamaican vibes. This is where Quiet Prophecy are based. Yeah, this last step I just like to play around with the different filters. You will have to duplicate the layer and then flatten the image beforehand. Very easy step. I think these filters are a great way of just creating different moods, and also just gives a bunch of different options when you submit these designs. So yeah, definitely play around with them even if you kind of reject certain designs, because it will definitely help give you a bunch of different options. So they just got back to me, and there's just a few little tiny tweaks. This always happens when you kind of work with other people and clients. You have to be willing to make these changes because you're working for someone else.
3:28 AM.
Boom! We're all finished with this album cover. I've just got a message back from Quiet Prophecy saying that they're super pleased with the end results, and you know, that's always good. You always want to have a happy client, and yeah, I mean, I had heaps of fun doing this. I love doing these album covers. I'm sure I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this in the future. I kind of get work off the back of that previous video I did, so now I'm doubling down with another one. So hopefully I'll be getting a few more people hitting me up to see if I can do some artwork for them. Before we jump into looking at some super sexy shots of the final results, I just want to say big ups to everyone, all the new subscribers. I know I took a couple weeks off, and I'm probably going to have to take a little bit more time off. Last year, I was not working full-time as an artist. I've always had like a little side job working in bars or restaurants. I'd cut my hours down over the years. So I was kind of working like a Saturday job kind of hours. And to be honest, because of coronavirus, I thought it was very likely that I was going to have to go into some type of full-time employment. and a year later, I mean, luckily I didn't have to do that, and I've been making enough money, but it's kind of come to a point where I'm getting too much work. And yeah, it is a brilliant problem to have. It's really good for my career as an artist, because yeah, I've always wanted to just do this full time. But it's not very good for my YouTube channel, because some of these projects I'm just unable to share, and I'm also just swamped with work. But I promise you that as soon as the work kind of slows down, I'm going to be more consistent with these. I'll try and record as many videos as I can so that I can schedule them, you know, ahead of time, so that I won't miss a week. And yeah, I just want to say thanks guys for being patient. I'm not really seeing anyone unsubscribing. The numbers are still going up slowly, but I promise to get some more videos out and try and be a bit more consistent. Yeah, as soon as work slows down. Talking to subscribers, if you're not already part of the most gangster, sickest club in the world, the sub club, make sure you go smash that subscribe button, hit like, and yeah, if you actually did enjoy this video, drop a comment as well. I always reply to anyone that drops me a comment. Yeah, let's take a look at the let's have a look at the super sexy final result, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Kapow!